Hello, all
Hello.
Shiatsu clients. It's Cliff here from the Shiatsu Center, and Shakura's with me today to
Working from home.
look after the chat. And if you've got any questions about the Shiatsu Center, how we're working now in this situation we find ourselves in, she's available in the chat if you want to ask her any questions, and she'll also pass any questions over to me if that's needed. But first of all, just say hi to everyone. Do you want to just say hi? Just maybe say where you are. If you're not in Norwich, you can tell us where you're from, where you're actually hanging out, whether you're out in North Norfolk or something like that. And then, so we've got an hour together. This is a regular 1 hour session, and we're going to be sharing exercises. It's a good exercises with you to help you keep healthy and chilled out in the current situation. Oh look, some of my Swiss clients have also, Petra's also tuned in. So we've got all our clients from Switzerland and the UK. So if you weren't here last week, what we did was we did a little bit of a kind of like slideshow of the theory behind stress and immunity in Chinese medicine. And then we did probably about 45 minutes of exercises based on keeping ourselves balanced in this situation. So we're going to do a similar thing. This time, though, we're going to look at polyvagal theory. We're going to look at how the nervous system works. And the reason for that is because, no, Louise, I can't see you all. This is Demio. This is not Zoom. Okay, so you're not on webcam. This is just a presentation, but you can just say hi in the chat. It's a really good idea to understand how your nervous system works. Look out for telltale signs, okay? And then we'll share how you can use shiatsu exercises and qigong exercises to help regulate your nervous system and how it all works. And then you can kind of get in control of your own stress levels. So this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to find out how you're doing again. We're going to find out what zone you're in. I'll explain a bit more about that later. We're going to just review the 3 burners from last week, and then we're going to do some more exercises, some different exercises from last week to help regulate the 3 burners. And then we'll mention a little bit about how we're evolving treatments in the Shiatsu Center, because we're starting to really kick into gear now with one-to-one sessions. And then we'll mention how we're dealing with money and donations as well at the end. Okay, so does that sound okay, everyone? Do you want to put your thumbs up if you think it's okay? Just if you look by the, if you look at the type your message box down the bottom there, there's a little emoji sign, little smiley face, and you can just put your thumbs up by clicking on there and clicking up the thumbs up time. Okay, or the clapping sign. Okay, so let's find out how you are doing, because we want to find out how you're coping in the current situation. So I'm going to share this poll with you. So can you just let us know as a group whether you're coping well, you're okay, neutral, or you're stressed or very stressed? And that gives us an idea. And then week by week, hopefully with these sessions, we can reduce that down and make sure everyone is in a nice, safe zone. So what have we got? Okay. Well, that's definitely better from last week. You're obviously starting to adjust now. You're definitely getting more used to the situation. And hopefully the exercises we did last week will have helped you, give you some tools to cope with how you are. Okay, very good. Okay, but those of you who are very stressed, those of you who are stressed or very stressed, I have to emphasize that we are prioritizing you, aren't we, Shakura? We're prioritizing you for one-to-one sessions, and we've got 2 options for you. So if you are still feeling very stressed, please do get in touch with us. We can help you with one-to-one support. Okay, so we found out how you are. We found out how you're coping. Now I'd just like to share this slide. This is a really useful way of monitoring your own nervous system. Okay, and basically it's to do with the way that the nervous system works, and we're going to do some exercises to help that in a few moments. But basically, when everything is when you're coping well and you're okay, which most of you are doing now, about 70-80% of you are, you'll be in that green zone there. You're going to be feeling like connected, feeling in a place of safety. Your nervous system is signaling to your brain and your body that you're in a place of safety. You'll find that your digestion's working okay. Your immune response, very important, and your resistance to infection is going to be much better, much higher then if you are feeling in this relaxed state. You'll be able to rest, and also you can relate to people and connect with people, which is very important to keep this system going. It's called the ventral vagal system. Okay, so those of you who are maybe stressed, there's 10% of you who are feeling stressed. You may have moved up into the red zone, and this is a natural function of the nervous system. What happens is we have what's called a sympathetic nervous system that's related to the adrenal system, and that's the system that kicks in when you feel under threat. It's a natural thing. We need it to act if we feel like we're in danger, but it can lead to inappropriate behavior, because what can happen is we can get panic buying. People go out panic buying and things like that because their nervous system is saying to them, then you're not safe, you have to get food. It's very primitive. So they'll go out and they'll elbow people out the way to get that food. Okay, that means you've moved out. If you feel that, means you're moving into the red zone. Now what can happen is you can go either into flight or fight. So those of us who move more into the fight mode will get frustrated, irritated, and then that can turn into anger and rage. That's more my one when I get geared up. And other people will go more into the flight, so they'll get more anxious. Have I got enough food? Am I going to be all right? And that can lead into anxiety, again into fear, and then panic. Okay, now I'm hoping that none of you are in the final zone, which is the free zone. Maybe the one of you who's saying they're very stressed may be feeling this. And that's what happens when your nervous system can't take it anymore. Okay, when you just get so stressed out, you can't take it anymore. And what happens then is a natural, again, all these are natural functions of the nervous system. They're not wrong in any way. They're just how our body works. What will happen then is your nervous system shuts down, and that's a natural thing. It protects animals who have been eaten by a predator, like an antelope that's being eaten by a tiger. Obviously, if you're going to be eaten by a tiger, you don't want to feel anything. And so nature has given us this amazing thing, which is a freeze response. So what happens is we become very numb and we start shutting down. Okay, so if you feel kind of like helpless, you feel like you really have to conserve your energy, maybe feeling a bit depressed, a bit numb, and then maybe even dissociated, so you're kind of looking at yourself kind of spaced out, that's a sign that you're moving into the blue zone. Okay, and that can lead on, if it happens for a long time, you can get a sense of shame that you're not coping, even though it's not your fault and it's just the nervous system, how the nervous system functions. And then that can lead to shutdown, hopelessness, and then finally preparation for death and feeling trapped. Okay, so obviously we want to try and avoid going into that blue zone, and the best way to do that is to regulate your nervous system. When you start getting irritable, you're probably getting a bit frustrated, you may be getting a bit worried, that shows you're going into the red zone. Okay, and so that's when we want to catch it there, and that's how we can help you, because we can show you exercises that help signal to your brain that you're in a place of safety, that will start to regulate your nervous system. Okay, but before we do that, I just want you to just reflect a bit, have a look at that chart and just think, which zone do you think you're in? And I'm just going to share a poll. Okay, so could you just let us know whether you think you're nice and safely in the green zone, or whether you're in the red zone, where you're activated, or maybe you're in a mixture where you're going in and out of these different things. That's also happens quite a lot. Okay, here we go. Look, interesting. Look, this is very interesting. About half of you are safely in the green zone. Okay, about 7% of you are in the red zone. So that's quite natural to be activated on the sympathetic nervous system level. Okay, just got to watch that and do some things to keep it kind of chill there. One of you is in the blue zone. Okay, I would, if whoever it is who signaled that they're in the blue zone, I would seriously get in touch with Shakura, and we will give you one-to-one help to get you out of that and to give you support. Okay. And those of you who are in a mixture, again, if you find yourself getting a bit out of control, moving in between, particularly if you start getting to the edge of the red zone and the blue zone, we want you to contact us because we want to give you one-to-one support on that. Okay. And then a mixture is good. If you're going in and out, then that means you're deactivating. It's okay to feel upset, irritated, angry. That's fine. It's not like you have to suppress it. It's expressing it, letting it deactivate, expressing yourself, letting it deactivate. And even if you go into the blue zone occasionally, just getting out there, moving a bit, doing some exercise can bring you back down the deactivation cycle, down towards the green zone. Okay, so that's great. So now we should do some exercises. And the basis of these exercises is on the 3 burners like we did last week. So I'd like you to do some checking in again. You remember this is just review from last week. It's to do with the regulation of the 3 burners. And as we do the exercise today, I'm going to just explain how the 3 burner exercises help regulate your nervous system as we go through. So before we start, just let's spend 5 minutes just tuning into our own energy before we start. So we'll tune in before and after to get an idea of how the exercises are really helping us. Okay, so you need a piece of paper with 3 zones. Okay. And we're going to, I'll just get into the middle of the thing. We're going to tune into these 3 zones, do some exercises, tune into them again to see how we're doing. Okay. Right. So remember there are 3 burning spaces, the lower, the middle, and the upper, related to the, basically the bladder and the intestines and the lower back. The middle, which is related to the digestive system, okay, and the upper body related to the lungs and the heart. So let's check out and see how our nervous system is regulating those 3 areas and do some exercises. So first of all, we're going to close our eyes, really relax. And I'd like you to tune into your lower burner. So that's below your navel, into your lower back. Okay. Just get a sense of what it feels like when you tune into that area. What is it like? Does it feel strong, weak, unstable, relaxed? What kind of feeling are you getting there? Okay. So if you had to turn that into a picture, or if you wanted to turn it into some words, what would they be? What would it be like? Okay. And then we're going to open our eyes and we're going to draw into the lower box. Okay, what it feels like. Write some words in there, draw a picture. Okay, and you can just let us know what it feels like. Sludgy, relaxed, rumbling. Very good. Okay, I'm not doing too bad this week. I've got more of a stable feeling, like a cloud holding calm sea. Nice one. That's great. Uncomfortable, Anna. Okay, let's do some work on that. Solid and heavy and firm, tight but also weak. Yeah, bubbly. Relaxed, a little bit tense, low aqueous energy moving outwards, calm or soft, empty. Right. Okay, good. There's some interesting feelings there. Yeah. Okay. Very interesting. Thank you very much for that. Okay. We need to get that settled, Maddie. We need to settle that down. Oh, I'm talking on the lap. Okay. All right. Back part frail and front. Okay. Okay. We can do some, I'm going to do some exercises a little bit later for that. All right, so let's move on to the middle burner now. Okay. Oh dear. Okay, right. So yeah, we're going to close our eyes again. Tune into the middle burner. Now that's between the navel and the diaphragm. So it's the liver, the stomach, and some intestines are in there. It's basically the digestive organs and the diaphragm. Okay, so let's tune into that area, not just the front, all the way through into the back, which is in the kind of the upper lumbar, isn't it? All the right way around the diaphragm. Just see what that's like. Okay, and if you had to draw or write what that was like, could you just open your eyes and draw it in the middle burner bit? Okay, done it? Okay, what do you think? Do you want to write in how you are? For me, this is definitely the one I need to work on. Look at that, it needs some work. I'm going to be focusing on that in the exercises in a minute. A bit tight, yes, it can get tight. Full of porridge. Stodgy, a bit heavy, yeah, that's right. So if it's a bit heavy, if it's dense and painful, yeah, we definitely need to get that released. Yeah, we definitely need to get that released. Okay. Very good. See, tight and shouty and squeeze. That sounds like the liver. Dense. Yeah. Jittery at the front. Yeah. Okay. All right. And cramped. Yeah. You see, there's a cramped tightening feeling. That's what I've got here. So don't worry. We'll be doing plenty of exercises for that. I need them. Okay. Great. Yeah. Let's go on to the upper burner now. So we're going to close our eyes. And tune into the upper burner. That's the heart area and the lungs. And again, all the way through into the back. Just get a sense of how you're feeling in the lungs and the heart area. Okay, and if you had to draw that, what would it be like? And then you can, when you're ready, open your eyes and draw the upper burner. Okay, and you can just type in how it is. Mine's not too bad this week. It was a bit hot last week, I seem to remember, but it's not too bad. It's just a little bit jittery. Brittle, yeah, that's definitely worth working on. Jagged and ragged, yeah. Open area and light is good. Yeah. Full, calm is good. Yeah. Interesting. Prickly, that needs some work. Okay, so while you're just typing that in, I'll go into the next slide. And give you, this is, according to Chinese medicine, this is really what you should be feeling in the 3 areas. It should be relaxed and strong in the lower burner, flexible and flowing. So those of you like me who've got tightness there, you really need to work on that. And then open and relaxed in the upper burner. So if you've got any sort of tightness again or any jitteriness in the upper burner, that's really worth working on. Okay. Yeah, okay, so let's work on all 3. And I'll revise the exercises that we did last time. and then I've got some new ones for you. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to stop sharing the slides, and if Shakur and Diana could turn your cameras off, then that will give me the biggest, you'll get the screen. That's it. That's it. Perfect. Okay, so that gives me maximum. And maybe also Diana and Shakur, if you turn your mics off so we don't get any feedback, that would be good. Okay, so I'm going to just move this a little bit, give myself a bit more room. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. That's it. Got plenty of room now. So let's concentrate on the lower burner. Now, if you remember last week, we did lower abdominal breathing, bringing the breath down. So we're going to do that again, but we're going to introduce 2 more exercises for the lower burner to energize it and calm it. How this links to the nervous system is this. If you're running away from a tiger, you want to go to the toilet, basically. It's natural to just want to go to the loo to get rid of anything you don't need as you're running away. It's an adrenal response. So if we calm and energize this area, it's sending a message to our brain that we're safe, that we're not being chased by a tiger, that it's okay. So this sense of safety in the lower burner is really important, and we're going to convey that to our body through this exercise, and that will send a message through the vagal nerve into the brain. Okay, so let's first of all start off with lower abdominal breathing. So we're standing, relaxed, and opening up the feet, very important. Opening up the feet, and we're imagining our weight going through the center of the feet, down into the earth. Okay, relaxing the sacrum, relaxing the shoulders, and letting our head float up. So the head's floating up, sacrum's hanging down. Okay, like kind of bouncing on an imaginary string that's like a puppet that's holding us from above. So just do a little bounce, just so that you're floating. Sacrum is just hanging at the bottom. Okay. Okay, so now let's do some lower abdominal breaths. So the way we do these is we bring the breath in, or energy in with the breath. We bring that into the lower abdomen. Okay, and then breathing out, we just imagine the air coming out, and the energy from the breath that we bring in is collecting here between the front and the back. So in this space here. Okay, so let's do it all together. Breathing in, hold it, breathe out, let the energy settle in the lower abdomen. Breathing in, hold the energy there, and breathing out, settling the energy from the breath here. Okay. Breathing in, feeling it fill out the lower back and the front, hold the energy from the breath there, and breathe out. Okay, now we're going to try something different. We're going to rub our hands together. Okay, place our hands just below the navel. This is two very important acupuncture points that form the dantian, the center of the energy of the body, and they're the center of the lower burner. So what we want to do is very calmly energize the lower burner, and this is how you can do it. It's a Qigong style exercise, so we're keeping our arms relaxed, bringing our hands to that point just below the navel, and then we imagine energy from our hands going through the body and filling up this area here. So we're not just touching the front of our body, we're touching right through into the whole of the lower burner. Relax your shoulders. Send your mind down your hands and deep into your lower abdomen. Okay, and then what we do is very small circles clockwise, and the idea is we're going to calm the lower burner and energize. Now what will slowly happen is you'll get a little bit of warmth coming out of your hands, keeping the shoulders relaxed. The idea is to get that energy right through your hands and right into your lower back. Okay, and remember I noticed some people said that they had a jittery feeling at the front or an empty feeling in front. In other words, difference at the front and the back. So we want to try and get that whole lower burner to become like one energy area kind of thing, so that it feels the same all the way. Okay, you just keep going for a little bit longer. Keep those shoulders really relaxed. Open up the feet. Keep yourself grounded. Okay, now hopefully, and I think it's happening, you can start to feel the front of your hara getting, or your abdomen, lower abdomen, getting energized in a kind of calm way. Okay, now that's sending a message to your brain that everything is going to be fine. Now, if we want to extend it to the back, we can do this exercise, making a loose fist, bringing the backs of your hands just into the lower back here. The same kind of idea. So we're relaxing the shoulders, feeling our weight on the ground, and we're starting to rotate around the midpoint of the lower back, around here. It's a very important acupuncture point, again, which links to the lower burner. It's a highly energizing point, but we're going to do it nice and calmly, sending our energy into the lower burner. Okay, and we're going to keep doing that until we feel that energy meeting the energy that we sent from the front. So you get this nice feeling of a solid, calm energy all the way through the lower burner. Okay? So now what we can do is we can tune into our lower burner and just see what it feels like. So close our eyes, tune in, and ask ourselves, does it feel any different from before? Does it feel a little bit warmer, a little bit more energized, and a kind of a little bit more calm and solid? That's what you really want. You want it to be solid and calm here. Okay? Right. So now let's move on to the middle burner. This is the one I need. and I could see from the chat when we did the tuning in, this is one where a lot of people have got tension. Very understandable, because the nervous system links directly with the stomach. You notice that one of the first things that happens when you get stressed, for example, if you're an antelope and you're out grazing or something like that, you start getting attacked by a lion, the last thing you want to do is eat. Okay, you're not going to eat anything. You're just going to try and survive and get going. So the digestive system is very closely connected to stress. And we can work on it, because if we can relax our digestive system, what that does is that sends a message through the vagal nerve to our brain, and it basically tells it that it's okay. We can eat, we can relax, everything is going to be fine. And so we can directly influence that state and bring us out of that red zone back into the green zone. Okay. So remember last week we did this twisting exercise. And this is a very good way of releasing the diaphragm and releasing the liver energy. So we're going to do that again, and then I'm going to show you some other ones that take us into the stomach channel. And if you want to do a very quick self-assessment, okay, it's very simple, okay. You can just feel around the upper part of your abdomen here, okay. And if you look down, okay, you've got the liver here and the stomach is here. So basically, if the liver's more of a problem, you'll feel it here. And if the stomach's more of a problem, you'll feel it on this side. If it all feels tense, then you need to do work on both. So let's work on, first of all, releasing the diaphragm and releasing the liver. And let's do the same exercise we did last week to start with, which is this Qigong exercise. Feet shoulder width apart. Get that string bouncing. Get the hips relaxed. Get the sacrum hanging down. Okay, relax your shoulders. And then we're going to start twisting. We're going to look with our eyes, and we're going to look to the left and look to the right. If you want to close your eyes after you've got that visual thing going on, then that's absolutely fine. And then we're concentrating as we twist. It's a very simple exercise. We're concentrating on twisting and freeing up the whole diaphragm in the middle of the body. Okay, so let's do that. Very simple. Keep it nice and relaxed. Keep that string suspending you from above. So you can imagine that someone's just turning that string and twisting you around. And as you do it, you release the middle burner, particularly the diaphragm. And as I say, it affects the liver. Nice and easy. Okay, starting to feel a bit more flexible. Yeah. Okay, so let's come back to the front. Okay, and now we're going to do something a bit different. We're going to do some do-in. And what that is, it's a Japanese form of self-shiatsu. It's a passive technique, and it's very good for moving stagnation blockages. Okay, so let's try that. So I'm going to show you where the gallbladder and the liver channels are. They directly link, they link through connective tissue, facial pathways with the liver organ, and they connect to the legs. Okay, and it's very simple because they run down the outside of the legs and up the inside, the middle of the outside and the middle of the inside. Okay, so what we do is we just shake our hands out a bit. Loose fists, and we're going to tap down the outside of our legs like this, just tapping, nice and gentle, tapping down the outsides, right on the outside of the legs. Okay, get down to the feet, and then we're going to come up the inside of the legs. You can use the flat of the hands or the loose fists. Okay, up the inside of the legs. Okay, and then round. Get right in here. Release the buttocks here with the loose fists. And then we go down the outside again. Okay, and up the inside. Down the outside. Up the inside. Okay, we're just doing the 3 times, this is the 3rd time. And then we brush off the legs, inside and outside, brushing off towards the feet. Okay, and now if you tune in back into the Middle burner again, particularly if you had obstruction in the liver area, you'll notice that it's much freer now. Okay, it certainly is with me anyway. It's really released. Okay. So what about if you're more of a stomachy sort of person? It's more like the stomach. Well, you need to have another couple of channels. These run down the front of the legs. Very good for regulating the stomach. Before we do that, let's just give the abdomen a bit of a rub all the way around. Again, relaxing the hands, massaging the entire digestive area. Just go around a few times to start that off. Okay, this is a very, very good vagal exercise because the whole digestive system, if you start relaxing that, it'll send a very strong message to your brain that everything is safe. Okay, you can feel the intestines, just gently rubbing all the way around, and of course the stomach area. Okay, very good. So now I'm going to show you where the stomach channel is. Very good if you get any burping or any feelings of tightness in the stomach, anxiety that's affecting the stomach. You really should release that. I saw from the chat quite a few are finding it very tight in this area. Very important to relax it. And you can do it yourself with self-shiatsu and qigong techniques. You can send that message to your brain that you're safe, and you'll be able to cope then with whatever happens. Okay, so let's try this. We're going to relax the hands. We're going to go down the outside of the legs and up the inside front of the legs. So the stomach and spleen channels are in the front of the legs. So it looks a bit like this. We're going down the outside front along the big muscle here, quadricep muscle all the way down. Get to the knee, round the kneecap, and then just below the kneecap on the outside, there's a very important point there, the 3 mile point, very good for our energy and balancing energy. We go down to the foot, and then up the inside of the leg to the spleen channel, round the knee again, up the inside. Yeah. We get to here, and then go down the outside again, down the stomach channel. Up the inside. Okay, one more time. Down the outside. And up the inside. Okay, and then we're going to brush off the front of the legs. 1. With a breath. Okay, very good. So now let's just feel around here again, and we're going to tune in internally, closing our eyes. How does that feel? Any less tense? Does it feel nice and flexible and energized, but kind of flexible and flowing? That's what you want. Okay, certainly helped me anyway. That's the one I really needed the most. Okay, so finally, it's time now to go up to the upper burner. Now, this is really, really important. And the reason for this is because when we get upset, we get nervous, or we get under threat, then what happens is the heartbeat increases. Okay, the heartbeat increases, and that again has like a feedback loop into the brain. So the heart starts beating fast. It reinforces the fact that we're under stress. Okay, so if we can regulate our breathing and our heart rate, then what will happen is we'll be able to get into that safe zone again and regulate our own nervous system. The breathing is really important because the breath is directly related to the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, so what that actually means is that if you emphasize the in-breath, you will be emphasizing the sympathetic nervous system, which means you'll be telling your body and your body-mind system that you should be getting into the red zone. Okay, and I'll just give you an example of sympathetic nervous system breathing. It emphasizes the in-breath. So it's like this. Okay, you recognize that as a kind of breathing pattern you get when you're panicked or when you're under stress. The reason you do that is because if you're running away from a tiger, you need to get that oxygen into your body as fast as possible so you can run away from the tiger. Okay, but if you get into a pattern like that, then what will happen is you're constantly telling your body is constantly telling your brain that you're under threat. And the way to beat it, the way to control it is through the out breath, because the out breath is linked to the parasympathetic nervous system. So basically, if you emphasize the out breath, so your breathing pattern switches round, so you're going that long out breath emphasizes the green zone. It stimulates the awareness of the parasympathetic, and it will deregulate you back from the red zone into the green zone. So we're going to do a couple of exercises. We're going to do one for the lungs, and we're going to do one for regulating the heart. Okay, so let's do the lungs first. I think we did this one last week. Okay, so we're going to revise that, and then I'll take you into a stretch for the lungs. So if you remember, it's feet shoulder width apart, bounce on your string again, relax your hips, okay, lift up your arms, drop them back. Very, very simple. Okay, so from the side it looks like this. Now the only thing you've got to watch for though is bring your thumbs outwards. Your thumbs need to turn outwards, and that opens up the lung channel here. Okay, it opens up the lung channel, and that will help you get that air into your lungs. Very important. And we're going to emphasize the exhalation. Okay, so it's now you can see just by emphasizing the exhalation, it's already starting to make you feel calmer. And if we really emphasize it and slow it up, okay, so it's you see how it makes everything feel very calm, like almost like you're in slow motion. And that's because you're really strongly regulating your nervous system away from the sympathetic or the adrenal response. Okay, it's like magic, isn't it? It's brilliant, isn't it? Okay, right, so now we're going to do a stretch for the lungs, and this is a shiatsu stretch. We link our thumbs behind our back, link the thumbs behind our back. Okay, we breathe in, okay, and we breathe out, stretch forwards, and bring your arms up towards the ceiling, opening up the front of the shoulders, pointing your first finger towards the sky. Yeah, hold it, breathe in, long exhalation. Okay, and again, breathing in. Okay, breathing in and coming out. Okay, so that's the lung exercise. Opening the lung channel, regulating the out breath, stretching the lung channel in the stretch. Okay, so now finally we're going to do some exercises for the heart. We didn't do this last time, but it is very important. Okay, the heart's emotional center of the body. It's one of the first things you'll feel when you get stressed, because you'll feel your heartbeat increasing. You'll feel that even before you feel your tummy shutting down. Maybe you want to go to the loo. Those come a little bit later, but the first thing you feel is this feeling of the heart rate increasing. So it's really useful to be able to regulate that. Okay, so we're going to do some very, very slow stretches, and I'll show you how you can get in touch with the pericardium, which is the muscle around the heart that you'll be able to actually regulate this yourself, and I'll show you how you can do it. Okay, so the channel for the heart protector, or the pericardium, runs right down the middle of the arm. It runs deep into the chest and into the heart. Okay, runs on both sides. So in order to regulate that, we use this stretch here. Okay, and I'll show you how to do it. You breathe in, bring your hands forward, so I'm doing this kind of thing, all right? And then slow exhalation, opening up the arms like this, breathing out, aiming for your middle finger. And what you'll feel as you get to the edge of the stretch is you'll feel an opening feeling deep into the chest, and that's the facial connection with the facial plane connection with the pericardium that you're feeling there. Okay, now you can send a message inside your body by the way you're doing this, opening the stretch up and breathing slowly on the out breath. Okay, breathing in again, okay. Breathing out slowly. Relaxing the chest, feeling the stretch of the little finger. Breathing in, breathing out very slowly. Okay, breathing in and breathing out very slowly. Open that pericardium channel. Feel the connection deep into the chest. Very good. Okay, and then we're going to do it one more time, breathing in. Okay, and then relaxing your arms down to your side. Okay, very good. So now just tune in again to the upper burner. Imagine it's already feeling quite a lot more calm, and particularly you've had that stretch there through the pericardium channel. Really, really important. If you feel you're getting palpitations, or if you're feeling like you're not sleeping, you really can do this exercise at night as part of your balancing your burners exercises. Okay. So now, finally, I'm just going to show you one more stretch, and this is for the heart. It's a very deep stretch. You want to do it nice and carefully, but it's a way, again, of sending that message to your heart that everything is safe, okay? So I'll show you how to do it. What you do is just shake out your arms a bit, relax them. Bring your hands into the prayer position, and you want to link your little fingers, make sure your little fingers are linked together, okay? And then it's a very deep stretch this, okay? So be careful with it. You just bring your arms up like this. And then you tip your arms back like this, facing the wall behind you, okay? And then try this. Breathe into your chest area. Open your armpit and gently press towards the wall behind you. Okay, and you'll feel an opening through your armpit into your chest, deeper into your chest, and right through to your little finger. And if you can do that, you know that you've got the heart meridian stretch. Okay, so we'll bring it down, we'll shake out. Okay, we do it twice more. Okay, bring your hands up. Okay. Open your armpit. Okay, like this, open the armpit, pressing the hand towards the wall behind you. Come out. Shake out. One more time. Okay, I'll do it this way with you this time. Okay. Breathing in. And breathing out. See, I'm opening my elbows, opening up the armpits. And you'll feel that stretching deep into the chest. And that actually connects through the facial planes directly with the heart organ. And you can directly calm your heart rate by holding the stretch and relaxing the out breath. Okay, and then up, out, and shake out. Okay. Okay, so to review, we check the 3 burners. We need to energize the lower burner. We can do that with the lower abdominal breathing that we've done this week and last week. And we can get more energy there by circling small circles around the dantian points, and also by working on the lower back. This is bladder 23, very important, kidney U point, until we feel this area is warm, strong, and relaxed. Okay? We can then check in with the middle burner. Depending on whether it's more the liver or the stomach, we can do these exercises. If you feel tension right across here, I recommend that you do this whole set, which involves twisting and turning to release the diaphragm with the eyes turning. Okay. And then the doe-in, remember? We did the doe-in on the gallbladder and liver, so it's down the outside of the legs, up the inside of the legs. Okay, and you can repeat that 3 times. And then, so the liver is this one, twisting sides of the legs. Digestive system rub. And then stomach, outside of the front of the legs, up the inside of the legs. Okay, and you can do that for as long as you need to. You can repeat it for maybe 5 minutes even, and you just keep going round and round that until you feel this area is completely relaxed. Okay, and that will send that message to your brain through the nervous system that everything is safe, and you'll be able to then function much better, and you'll be in the nicely, safely in the green zone. Okay, right, so then the final burner is the lungs. This is a great lung tonifying exercise. Don't forget to emphasize the out breath. So you're stimulating the lungs, but you're also regulating the nervous system. Okay. And then finally, the heart. If you need to calm the heart rate down, if you're having trouble sleeping, then there's this one for the pericardium. Again, emphasizing the emphasizing the out breath. So it's breathing in, breathing out, aiming for that middle finger, feeling the stretch deep into your chest, connects with the pericardium, starts to regulate the heartbeat. Okay. And finally, this one, where you lift up, you aim for the back wall, you open up the armpit, the heart channel emerges from the body under, right through the armpit. It goes up to the little finger. So you want to feel that line. Okay. And then again, with the breath, easing that deep stretch in, calming the heart rate down. So if you do that sequence of exercises, and we'll build on those in the weeks to come, we'll go deeper into the whole theory behind it. We'll learn some more channels to help you regulate all the different systems in your body. But for now, you've got plenty to work on. Regulating the burners, making this strong, creating space and making this relaxed, calming this down. Okay, so what I'd like to know is that any use to you? If it is, I'd like to see some thumbs up, or even some claps, or even some of these ones. Oh, I love the hearts. Okay, this is one. Look, if you think it's a real party, you can put one of those in. Okay, so it's going to be really a good week for you. You've got all the tools to regulate, and your aim now is to see if you can really start practicing regulating yourself down. There's nothing wrong with going into the red zone. It's a natural thing, and it's a natural thing to go into the blue zone. There's no shame attached to it, okay? It's just your nervous system working. Be thankful that your body system is working. But having said that, if you get stuck in an uncomfortable place, you need to have the tools, especially now if you're locked down or something, to have the tools to regulate your own system with our help. And we are here for you. We're going to do this every single Wednesday for as long as it takes, every single Wednesday at the same time, 10 till 11. If you're feeling upset, then just come to our meeting, and we'll help you regulate that.
Can I just ask, okay, so I'm just going to... people are wanting to know if this will be available later, either on YouTube or somewhere.
Yes, it will. We're a little bit behind because we've had so much work, but hopefully in the next few days we'll get these on YouTube and we'll post them every week. Okay, so you can look at them, and then hopefully what we'll do then is what we're going to do is put them on YouTube, but we're also going to put links onto the Shiatsu Center website. That's one of our aims, that we want to do that. That would be great, because then you can go back and look at any of them back through all of them. Okay, so yeah, we do that. We've got, as you can imagine, we've got quite a lot of work on because basically we're helping the whole world Shiatsu scene go online. So we've been a bit busy, but as soon as we can, we'll get those up hopefully this week. Okay, so remember, the lower burner is the foundation of your energy. The middle burner transforms your food and drink into energy. So watch your diet, make sure you're eating some nice immune boosting foods, and keep that worry at bay. Don't look at the news when you're eating. That's my advice. The upper burner forms the key of the chest. Very important to keep that regulated. Okay, and they produce the key and provide us with our immunity. Okay, so you're actually, if you do these exercises, you're really boosting your immunity because of two things. One is you're actually generating more energy, more defensive energy. And the other thing you're doing is regulating your nervous system. As you saw from the chart with the three colors, if you're in the green zone, that maximizes your immunity. And that's what we all need at the moment. Okay. So just like to point out that if you are in the stressed group and you are having problems, we are here for you one-to-one. We've started to really develop these self-shiatsu supervisions now. We can lead you through self-shiatsu exercises, a bit like we've done now with this, but with more actual shiatsu techniques. And we're starting to really perfect it now. It's becoming very effective. So if you are if you are an at-risk client of ours, please get in touch with Shakura and we will book you in definitely. Okay. We've developed different diagnostic tools using the voice, questioning you and using guided imagery, a bit like we did with the 3 burners that we did before. Okay. And we connect with you. We can even do this just with a phone call. We don't really even need a video link. Okay. And we follow up with emails. It's a very popular option.
Yeah, most clients have just been doing phone calls, so we don't even need a video.
Yeah. No, you don't need video, just a phone call. We can direct you through it, This Shiatsu distance healing is a very, very popular option for those of you who are maybe really stressed and can't even cope with working on yourself. You just need to relax, and we can literally zap you. We can beam the Shiatsu session to you, and they are very, very effective. It's something we have been trained in for decades. We don't normally tell people about it because just in case they think we're crazy, but that's now this isn't the time to be modest about things.
Not at all, no. And it's been really fun.
With the Qigong master for 2 years to do this, so she's right there. And what we do is we send a log of the.
Cliff, Teresa's asking, can she have a copy of the polyvagal chart with the zones?
Yeah, you can do. If you just Google polyvagal chart and look under images, you'll see it right there. Yeah, but I will put it up on the site when we get round to it. But if you just Google polyvagal chart, it's right there.
I thought I'd given you a copy,
first thing you'll get. Okay. Very easy. Yeah, very easy. You'll find it in 1 second if you go online. Okay, so money. So at the moment we're still on emergency mode. Okay, if you are very stressed, if you're in that red and that towards the blue zone, you're one of our most at-risk clients, please don't let money get in the way. Okay, we're working cooperatively, we're working for donations only. If you're not affected financially so much by the crisis, please donate to the Shiatsu Centre, because we really need your support to keep going, to keep the lights on here. We literally have got no income at the moment. We've got to wait for 3 months for the government money to come in. Okay, so what we're doing is we're basically pooling our donations at the moment and just sharing it out to who needs it the most. Okay, so don't let money get in the way. If you go to the shiatsucentre.co.uk, you can just pay PayPal, donate, or get in touch with Shakura if you want to do a bank transfer. If you have got a reasonable income, maybe you're retired and you've got a fixed income or something like that, please consider making a regular donation. You just do it once and then every month or something, a small amount. If you really haven't been affected by the crisis, we would ask you to think about maybe donating 1 treatment a month, and that will just really help us, really help us keep going. Okay, because we're all working really hard to look after our clients here in the best way that we can. Okay, we found out how you are, we've looked at the immune system, we've looked at the nervous system, we've balanced our burners, we've talked about the treatments and the money. Okay, so just go to shiatsucentre.co.uk and please make a donation. We really appreciate it. See you next week. Bye. Bye.